Alright, good morning. Today is Friday, March 29th, 2019. Why am I teaching you anything that you don't already know? Let's go over something that you claim to know but yet fail to have learned. Spirit tells your secrets as the people that you actually go to for psychic reading. They have no client confidentiality in the sense that they might sit there and say, well, I won't just tell your name, but I'll tell your story. You give them permission to because you want a reading. Let us not be confused by that statement. I told you these young men insisted from me that I give them a reading. Now, the one man, Rico, who is Boys for Greatness, he is Boys for Greatness. And I listened to his music and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I heard his music after the fact. So I didn't know how good he was until I heard his music and I said, no wonder. When I pulled that card and I was seeing what I was seeing for you, it was true. But his friend, I told you I had to look out for. Rico's still here. He was asking about long-term rentals and stuff because, you know, he's got clients out here and stuff. And I said, well, the rates are on the wall. Because he said, do you know anything about the long-term rentals? I said, well, the rates are on the wall. And the number there, the second number, you're supposed to contact that person and they will set everything up. But at the same time, they also want a deposit. Because they already went over that with me. Because I stayed there a week, and she told me, she said, if you extend your stay beyond this first week, then they're going to want a deposit from you because they want to make sure that their stuff is, you know, secure. But they will do a long-term rental. And I know they will because they've already blocked the dates out. I saw it when I went on the calendar. My father said, I'm supposed to stay here until I find where I'm supposed to go next. And I was giving him grief because I said, well, you know, I don't have the money to pay these people. He said, you keep worried about shit that you don't have to worry about. I told you I have money. Which I know he does. Miss Maggie. Miss Maggie Martinez. She's a friend of mine. She's funny. She will tell me in a heartbeat, she said, Carlos, when he tells you something, it happens. And she's only been following me for like a few years, but at the same time, she says, I feel like I've known you for far longer. I said, it's because you were there in the beginning. And she was. That woman has a good heart. I can see her soul. She cares. Now, was it, if it were up to her, oh yeah, she'd do far more, but the thing is, it's not up to her because she's struggling too. She's trying to take care of her family and more. And I understand that, and I'm like angry, because I said, if anything, what I would do to help her, I would do it. And my father said, you're already doing it. You came to make sure that people like her did not perish, because they are good souls. I know good soul when I see one. There are a lot of people out there who might not like anything I have to say all the time, but at the same time they know I'm not talking bullshit, and they know that I am not trying to come for them like that. I don't have a problem with the fact that you unfriend me. I have a problem with the fact that you can't own up to your own shit. Now, in the art form of a mystic, you don't get to actually play favors, meaning that the message that comes through, you have to deliver it as it comes through, because if you don't, then you are a charlatan. See, spirit does not bend to your will. You've been to Spirit's will, meaning that you are opening yourself up to deliver a message. My father did not call me willy-nilly. He called me because he said, you did this once before. And I said, but the last time I did this shit, they killed me. He said, you don't think I could protect you? I told you he worked hard with me. My father labored to get me back. He had to reassure me that I was not a lost cause in his eyes or in the eyes of the people, because the people were all that mattered. See, dollars and cents really don't mean anything to me. I am capable of work if he would just allow me to. I told him, I said, you know, I can work. I can do really good work. You know what he told me? He said, I don't want you working for the devil. Do you know what that means? My regular 9-to-5 job, he said, was just basically working for the devil. I'm slave labor. They didn't care. They didn't care about people. I work projects that they actually use those projects to undermine other people, other souls. Rob them of their livelihood and contributed to their death because they had nothing to live for, because their work meant something to them. It didn't mean that they were the most honest and righteous of people. No. They actually did some fucked up shit. I knew they did fucked up shit. We all did. But they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And they made an example out of them. I told you I work in Hollywood. People ask about the casting couch. Is it real? Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's about all kind of shit when it comes to Hollywood. And that shit is real. Now, am I giving you specifics? No. Am I telling you what studios did what? No. Excuse me. They all have done their fair share of dirt. Studio bigwigs and more. Harvey Weinstein is not the first of his kind, and neither will he be the last of his kind. Donald Trump knew exactly how Hollywood was because he worked in that arena. He knew those people. That's why he called himself saying, how you gonna sit there and call me out?
It has to do with trying,
you have to pay attention, people. He wants to know how the hell they in Hollywood gonna call him out when he knows they dirt. Billy Bush was made an example of. Donald Trump wasn't. Because he said, I have risen to a loftier position in authority than you are aware of, and therefore I am not to be touched. Now, if you don't get what that means, then I will show you. Because he believes he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's leader of the free world. Because see, as far as the United States is concerned, many countries are supposed to bow down to them, which is bullshit. But they actually do believe that because they were criminals. This country was founded by criminals. They were the scourge of these various nations. Spanish, English, French, you name it, wherever they came from. They were the scourge of the earth. And they came over here and they stole the land from the Native Americans and they built something. That's historical fact. And as far as they're concerned, they don't care. They don't care that you don't get that they have positions of power, ignorant as they might sound, because they still have that power. Did you ever understand from an historical standpoint, isolationism? Where this country pretty much was isolated and they built their infrastructure and more on the backs of immigrants. became a great power that when they introduced themselves back into the world, they were a force to be reckoned with. See, now Russia, they call it Mother Russia, the bear. She also had that in luxury until, they started being broken up. Ask Putin. Well, he's trying to re-annex some shit that was lost. The United States is still trying to annex shit that's lost. And see, Donald Trump, he actually don't seem to think that the alliances are as important as they are. Because that's where the true power is. It's in the forging of alliances. That's what the United States had going for it, because it was founded from a standpoint of a nation of immigrants who could relate to all these other lands. He ain't looking at it like that. Because as far as he's concerned, that shit is just a given. No, it's not. That's why he's undermining the infrastructure of the United States. Because he's not paying attention to the politics of the game. He's already destroying it from the inside out. And y'all don't see it because you're looking at him as a businessman who basically was not a very successful one. I mean, he made money real quick, but he made money for himself and for other people, but not everybody. And now you're looking at it from a standpoint of, well, what the hell? See, the United States citizens are not that bright. You do realize that, don't you? You were fortunate to get a 6th grade education in this country for many years, even though education was supposed to be a given. Many people don't read beyond a 6th grade education in this nation even today. That's why they get mad, because they say everything is outsourced. It's outsourced because those people have been learning. They can outthink you. You are not equipped to battle with wits that you don't have. Yeah, you can go in the military and they'll teach you some shit. They'll teach you how to kill yourself. It's a brainwashing technique. They'll teach you how to kill somebody else. They'll teach you how to kill yourself. You'll come back here and you say this shit don't make any sense. Because you can't apply what they taught you to do over there, here. Because it doesn't compute. It's not in place here. Do you listen to these congressional committees when they sit there and they're interrogating shit? I mean, I've been listening to these televised events, these confirmation hearings and whatnot, and not everybody speaks with a full deck. And you say, and this is supposed to be my representative, but the thing is, they're not. They don't represent me. They represent a section of the country that I have no vote in. But as far as those people are concerned, they're brilliant. Well, they're brilliant because they're in that office. They know how to speak the vernacular of the people. And that means that the people that they actually are representing are not firing on full decks. Now, see, a lot of you will sit there and say, well, you got a lot of nerve to talk about. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Because you don't have to come from a particular region. You come from the state of California. The state of California got a lot of fools out here. Because they immigrate. This is a nation of immigrants. We immigrate to this great state from various parts of the country. And trust me, you settle in certain places and the people who you vote into office speak for you. And they don't all sound the same. I'm not stupid. I didn't just go to school and learn about U.S. government. I studied it. I know how important the vote is, but at the same time, I know I only have one vote. They're talking about trying to do away with the Electoral College, and you know what the Electoral College was supposed to be about. Power. Little states not ever being eclipsed by the bigger states. Do you know what it takes to do away with the Electoral College? It's not a stroke of the pen. And it's not about people just basically saying, now we're going to do away with it and go with the popular vote. Because the thing is, the Founding Fathers knew that in order to unify a country, those who came from smaller states had to have a seat at the table. And do you think those people won't get that seat up? The Senate from every state is two representatives. It's part of the balance of power. Because congressionals are based upon the populace. That's why the Congress is the way it is. And that's why the senators are the way they are. And then the Supreme Court, they lifetime appointees. I thought you understood this shit. You didn't come to me to learn about U.S. government in history, did you? See, when people start voting and putting people in office like, what's our girlfriend name? Well, they got like 2 or 3 Muslim women. That tells you that it's shaping up differently. Same thing like with the Latinos and all that kind of stuff in terms of representation. And that's where people get nervous. Because it's not an all-white boys club anymore. It's slowly changing, but it takes time. See, Obama pissed a lot of black people off because he basically, as far as they were concerned, was not black enough. Whereas other people sit there and said he was still too black. But depending on who you talk to, who you survey, they don't feel that way. Donald Trump is really trying to restore a sense of white supremacy in that office because Obama was there. He don't give a fuck that he ain't got nothing in place to replace anything that he say he want to do away with that Obama had. He want to rebrand it his own. It don't matter that Obama based a lot of shit upon white predecessors. That tells you something right there. That's people basically having a problem with you just being who you are. You got a lot of shit to think about, people. See, I can sit here and spout scripture to you, but the thing is, it ain't always about scripture. Sometimes it's about the fact that you have identity issues. Seriously. Deeply seated and deeply rooted identity issues that you have to work out in some kind of way, and you're going to work it out publicly. And people are going to see it for what it is and for what it's not. Meaning that those who might want to own up to your shit, for all that it might want to own up to that shit, other people are not. You got to think about this. I'm telling you, it's going to take some time. In time, over time, and I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that the weather is really fucked up right now. It's overcast and cloudy, and it's supposed to be daylight saving time. The sun should be shining bright, but it's not. I told you the hour is changing. My father has already said as much. I told him, I said, I don't have any money. He said, I know. But then he made sure my friend sent me some money so I could go to the store and get me some more stir fry and stuff. I fix me a sandwich and all that kind of shit. I got my stir fry. I was gonna fix it last night, but I ended up going to sleep because I was tired. Because I'm always on receiving downloads. Now, did I dream last night? Yes and no. Be honest with you, I can't tell you what I dreamt. I just know I was tired. I watched TV, I watched the news. And I woke up this morning, and if the news came on, I don't know. Because my phone was still on to the point that it should have been broadcasting the news. But it was already over with. So what am I going to do? I guess I'll look at the view. It comes on now. At 8 o'clock here this time, there's a live stream that I can watch. And I watch it and I see what those ladies are talking about. Because they talk about certain things. I mean, I looked at other things on the news. But I'm telling you, things are going to get real interesting before they come correct. And you got too many people with their head in the sand talking about they all about spiritual this and that and whatnot, and you don't understand that that really is a diversionary tactic because you're not paying attention to what's going on in this world, and you're prone for self-destruction. I suggest you get your head out of the sandbox and start paying attention to what's going on in